And we are live. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you are doing well. We are here again for a Wednesday, Westside Wellbeing with myself and Jamie. I'm just going to lift this camera up a touch just so we've got a little bit more clearance. I hope you're all doing well on this somewhat sunny, somewhat rainy afternoon on this Wednesday as we move in towards the middle of the week. So today we're going to go through circuits. And what we're going to do is we're going to work through several exercises. But to start with, what we're going to do is just have a nice warm up today. So we're not going to worry about the timer too much. And we're just going to go into a stretch to start with. So for all those of you who've been sat at a desk all day, I've been a little bit stiff around the midriff. What we're going to do is take the feet out just outside shoulder width apart. And to start with, we're just going to get a nice rotation through those hips. Again, just trying to loosen up through those hip flexors, through those glute muscles. Again, starting to mobilize through the base of the core. And again, starting to activate those smaller muscle groups within the base of the core and within our pelvis. We're going to keep it there. We're going to go for 5 more rotations in this direction. And we'll go for 3, for 2, and for 1. Lovely stuff. From there, what we're going to do is change it back into that other direction just to make sure that we're really balancing out and mobilizing through those hips into that pelvis, starting to activate the base of the core. And again, just starting to put some movement through the body, preparing us for what we're going to go through today. Again, like I said, we're going to be going through circuits. So we'll be going through several exercises. We'll go set by set. We'll mix it up between lower body, upper body, core, and also we'll get some full body exercises in there. So we're just going to go for 3, for 2, and for 1. Lovely stuff. So we're going to come back nice and central. What I'm going to do is open those legs out a little bit wider, point those feet forward, and all you're going to do here is just hinge forward at those hips, trying to keep that back nice and straight. Feel free to place your hands onto your thighs. Again, just so we're making sure we've got a nice flat back and we're just stretching out through those hamstrings and also starting to activate the adductors, those smaller muscles that run down the inside of our thighs between the quads and hamstrings. We're going to hold that for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely stuff. We're going to come back up. And from there, what I want you to do is then point your feet out 45-degree angle. And what I want you to do is work your way down into this position. So rest your elbows onto your knees. And again, it just helps stretch out those hips, stretch out those adductor muscles. And again, start to mobilize through the base of the core. We're going to hold that for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to slowly work our way back up. And from here, we're going to go into the quadriceps. So what I want you to do is try and test that balance. If you want, take one arm out to the side, lift the right leg, trying to grab the base of the foot around the ankle, and just squeeze that heel in towards that glute. By all means, if you need to use a chair, a wall that might be around you, any object, a person, just to make sure you stay nice and balanced. So what I want you to do is just try and line and level out those hips. So you're really stretching through that hip flex and through that quad. You're going to hold that for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll release that out. And we'll switch into the other side. We'll give it a few moments just to allow the blood to flow back through that leg. Take that right arm out. Bring that left leg up again, grabbing at the base of the foot around the ankle. And just trying to level out those hips, stretching through that hip flexor down into that quadricep muscle. Good, we're going to keep that there for a few more moments. We're going to go for 5, for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release that down, let that blood flow while the legs start to warm up. What you do is take the arm across the body and just start to squeeze behind the elbow in the base of the triceps. So we're just working, stretching out through the shoulder. And we'll hold that for 3, 2, and 1. We'll release that. We'll take the other arm across the body. And again, just squeezing behind the back of the shoulder, back of the elbow, into the base of the tricep. just really pulling through those down muscles within that shoulder. We'll hold that for 3, 2, and 1. So from there, we're going to go to the triceps. So what I'm going to do is take one arm above your head, fold it down between the shoulder blades, and just find that range of movement. And then take the other hand, place it behind the tricep, and just squeeze down through that tricep. Again, stretching through the tricep and into that shoulder. We'll hold that for 3, 2, and 1. We'll take it up and we'll switch over to the other side. Again, just squeezing down the back of that tricep behind the elbow, stretching out through that arm. Yeah, we're going to hold that for 3, 2, and 1, and release. Excellent. So from here, we're going to get into some movement. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. And as we move through each exercise, I'll give a demo before we start. But the first one we're going to go into is squat floor touches. So I want to take a nice stance just outside shoulder width apart. And from here, all you're going to do is keep the core nice and strong. And we're going to go down and just start to work our way down towards the floor. So just start to take yourself down, find a rhythm, find a tempo that works for you. Don't worry about going all the way down to the floor to start. As you work through the repetitions, you'll find that everything will start to loosen up through those hips, through those glutes, through those hamstrings, through those quads. And as you work through the repetitions, you might be able to take it a little bit lower and that little bit further. But again, just find a rhythm, find a tempo, a few more repetitions for 3, 2, and 1, and rest. Nice, we're just going to take a moment here. So the next exercise that we're going to move into, we're going to go into some lunges. We're not going to go alternate, we're going to do side by side. So we're going to take it out, nice wide stance. Try and come up onto those tiptoes on that back foot. And from all you're going to do there is just hinge straight down at the hips and come back up. So take a moment before we rush into it. So what we need to do is let's set ourselves. So take that right foot forward onto the tiptoes on the left foot and let's go. So we're just hinging down at those hips. Again, really working through those quadriceps. And again, engaging those hamstrings just through that movement. Find a rhythm, find a tempo that works for you. Nice, try and find that balance, try and keep that torso nice and upright. Good, let's keep it there, you start to feel that burn. A few more repetitions, 3, 2, and 1, lovely stuff. So from there, just feel free to grab hold of the thighs and just shake it off. Again, just starting to put some blood into those legs before we move on to the second set of lunges. Again, from here, what we're going to do is take the left foot forward this time. So we've still got 15 seconds, there's no rush. Again, it's quite humid today. I'm going to work up a bit of a sweat, but we'll make sure we do it in a nice controlled manner. So let's set ourselves, left foot comes forward, right foot goes back, we're on the tiptoes, and we're hinging straight down at the hips. From here, by all means, if your knee touches the floor, that's not a problem at all. Again, just try and keep it hovering just above that floor. But if you need to take it all the way down just to help guide yourself back up, no problem at all. Yeah, let's keep that there, everyone. Nice, few more repetitions. 3, 2, and 1. And rest. Nice, we're going to take 30 seconds. So next one we're going to go into. We're going to keep it with the legs. But also what we're going to do is we're going to stand nice and centrally. We can place the hands on the hips if we need to. And all you're going to do there is you're going to step to one side. You're going to squat down. You're going to come to the other side and squat down. For me, I like to take my hands in front of me, but it's entirely up to you where you want to take them. So let's set ourselves 5 seconds. Standing nice and centrally. And let's go. So we step it to one side. Nice deep squat. Bring it to the other side. And back down. Again, find a rhythm, find a tempo that works for you. As you start to come out the base of that squat, just start to think about engaging that core. And again, just pull that belly button in. Just on that inhale. So we're working really into the base of that core. in between those hips. One more rep and rest. Nice. Let's take a moment. We'll take 30 seconds. Feel free to take a little bit of water on board. So next one we're going to go into a bear crawl. So what that's saying is we're going to stand up nice and tall. You're going to bend these down. You're going to walk yourself out along the ground. You're going to press if you can. Don't worry if not. All I want you to do, if you can't press, is just take it out and just walk it straight back in. And in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. So you're going to take it out, walk it out, press, and walk it back in. Again, just take your time. There's no rush. Working through the full range of movement through the body. So we're really working into the ankles, the knees, the hips, the shoulders, the elbows. And then again, really engage in those leg muscles, those upper body muscles. Let's keep it there. One last rep. And in 3, 2, and 1. Lovely stuff, everyone. Nice. Take a moment. So from there, we're going to bring it down onto our knees. The next movement we're going to go into is just a curl and press. So imagine you're holding a real heavy set of dumbbells. Clench those fists nice and tight. Keep that core nice and engaged. And all you're going to do is curl the palms up. Squeeze up through the shoulders and rotate those palms out. So let's set ourselves. And in 3, 2, and 1. So we curl up through the biceps, drive up through the shoulders. Getting that nice rotation. Palms come in, rotate, palms go out. Good, lovely stuff, everyone. Nice, let's keep that there. Strong work. Really trying to work through that full range of motion through that shoulder joint. Again, really trying to loosen everything up. One last rep. And rest, take a moment. Fantastic. So, next one we're going to go into while we're down here. What you should do is we're going to just go into a bit of a stretch. So we're going to take it out to one side, bring it in, take it out to the other side. You'll bring it back in and take it back out to the other side. Again, just trying to mobilize through those hips, really trying to open up into that lower back where there's probably a lot of stress and tension for us all. We've got 10 seconds, there's no rush. So what we'll do is we'll set ourselves, and in 3, 2, and 1, let's go. So we just take it out to the side, bring it back in, and then take it out to the other side. Again, normally I tend to put my hands in front of me, just helps keep me nice and centered, nice and balanced. But if you want to put your hands on your hips, on your head, wherever feels most comfortable, wherever you feel most balanced, again, just taking it from side to side. We're just going into a bit more of a mobility movement here. Good, let's keep that going. One last rep for 3, 2, and 1. And rest. Lovely stuff, everyone. So, what I'm going to try, I'm going to try something new today. Let's see how we go. So, all I want you to do is we're going to come onto our tiptoes. And from there, all I want you to do is just start to press yourself up. Press up. Feel free to drop those heels if you need to. And as you come back down, go back onto those tiptoes. Squeeze up through those tiptoes, those quads. Drop those heels down and go. So a slightly different variation of a squat here, really working into those ankle joints, through those knees. And this way it allows us to take those hips a little bit deeper, breaking that 90-degree line through those legs, through those knees, so we can really activate through those quadricep muscles. And again, really start to utilize the base of our core. Strong work, everyone. Let's keep that there. Last repetition. And squeeze. Nice. Take a moment, everyone. Feel free to take a little bit of water on board. I say it's quite hot, quite humid today. So again, we'll just find a rhythm, find a nice tempo, release some stress, get a bit of a sweat on, burn some calories after that bank holiday weekend, and then go back to our afternoon. So next one we're going to go into some push-ups. So from here, feel free to take it nice and wide. By all means, feel free to bring it to the knees as well. And just make sure that body's nice and long. So you're still getting that full range of movement through that chest, through those shoulders, squeezing up through those triceps. Good, strong work, everyone. Nice, let's keep that there. Nice and controlled, nice and steady. Squeezing down and squeezing up. Keep it nice and controlled. And pressing out through that chest. One last rep. And rest. Nice, take a moment. Really good work, everyone. So, and we'll round next one. What we're going to do is we're going to stay on the ground. We're going to take it into the core slightly. So, let's go for it. What we're going to do, we're going to try a 30-second plank. If you need to drop down to the knees, no problem at all. Take your time. There's no pressure. So what we're going to do is we're going to come onto our forearms. We're moving just less than 10 seconds. And two options, either take the knees back nice and far, keep those glutes nice and engaged, or come into that classic plank position where we're on our tiptoes. Again, trying not to put those hips too high, trying to keep everything nice and level. And again, feel free to engage those glutes. That'll help you keep that plank position a little bit longer. Good work, everyone. Let's keep that there. And focus in on that breath. Nice big inhale. Nice big exhale for 3, 2, and 1. And rest. Nice. Good work, everyone. Round 1 complete. So what we're going to do here, we're just going to take a moment. Allow ourselves to catch our breath. Take a little bit of water on board. Taking the surroundings. Congratulate each other on finishing our first round. And before we move into the next round. Hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Let's keep it there. Few more exercises to go through. So this time what we're going to do is we're going to start with the core instead. And what we're going to do, first one, we're going to start by lying down on our backs. Again, feel free to take a little bit more water on board here. Just take a moment. I'm going to set the timer up. And first one we're going to go into, we're just going to go into some adductor side to side. So what we're going to do is lie down on your back. Bring your heels up towards your glutes, feet nice and flat on the floor. And from there, hands are going to come by the side. And we're just going to slide from side to side. Trying to keep that tension through the midriff here. So we're just squeezing the rib cage down. Nice and controlled, nice and steady. By all means, feel free to lower the head back if it gives you a little bit more. You get that little bit more contraction through that midriff. Just lift the chin into the chest. A few more repetitions. We're going to go for 3, 2, and 1. Nice, good work, everyone. We're going to keep it down on the ground. So the next one we're going to go into, what we want to go into, is we're going to go into alternate legs. So I want you to place your hands down by your side. We're going to lift the legs up. You're going to drive one knee in, take the other knee out. Drive one knee in, take the other knee out. I'd probably advise to lift the head off the ground here, just so you can keep it, helps you keep your lower back nice and controlled on the base of that floor. Well, we've got a few seconds, take a moment, and we'll set ourselves in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. So we're just driving one knee in and taking it out. Nice and controlled, nice and steady, no rush. Really extending through those hip flexors. Really working into the base of that core. Good, lifting that chin into that chest so the abdominal muscles are nice and contracted. Strong work, everyone, keep it there. A few more repetitions on each side. Good, we're going to go for 3, 2, and 1, and relax. Nice, take a moment, we'll take 30 seconds. So the next movement we're going to go into, not some of those orthodox, but what I want to do is really try and open up into that lower back and massage into it. Again, we're going to put quite a few mobility moves in there today. So ultimately what you'll do is you'll lift your knees in towards your torso. You take hold of your knees. Again, feel free to interlock your fingers if you wish to. And all I want you to do is we're just going to rock backwards and forwards on our lower back. As you start to work through the repetitions, you might be able to take it a little bit higher. towards the shoulders, and if you come all the way up, no problem at all. If we can get into this position, so we're just coming up to a nice upright seating position, rolling really far back onto those shoulders, and back in. Use that momentum as you go backwards and forwards. We're keeping the core nice and engaged. You'll be able to feel it, but here we're just massaging through the spine. Good, and just start to work into that rib cage. And rest, take a moment. So the next one we're going to go into a bit of hip mobility here. We've got a bit of time, there's no rush, but also what we want you to do is put your feet at kind of 90-degree angles. I'll turn them face this way. And from there, all we're going to do is you're just going to rotate from side to side. It might feel slightly unusual. You'll probably start to move around the room a little bit, but that's not a problem. So legs at 90 degrees. And from there, just twist it to one side and twist to the other. If you need to take your hands behind you to give you a little bit more balance, that's no problem at all. But we can reverse. Fantastic work. And really trying to rotate through that torso, through those hips. Again, so we're really working into those groin muscles, working through the minimus muscles, which run around the lower back, and into our glutes. A few more reps. As you can see, I'm slowly working my way forward and rest. Good, strong work, everyone. Nice. So next one we're going to go into, we're just going to sit with our legs nice and wide. We've got 20 seconds, so I'm just going to give you a demo. So we'll lean back into our hands, and all we're going to do is we're going to bring the legs into the center, lift the knees in, back out, slide the legs out. Don't worry about trying to keep your legs lifted at all times. If you want to give that a go, no problem at all. But by all means, feel free to just keep them on the ground. And again, so we just start to slide it into that center, lift the knees in, take it back out, open up through those hips. We close back in, lift through those knees, take it out, open it out, back into the center, lift those knees. From here, again, if you want to take it back to the ground, try a few on the ground, a few off the ground, no problem at all. Again, really working into that core and starting to open up through those hips, try and release that tension from being sat down all day. Last one, and rest. Good work, everyone. So from here, I'm going to spin myself around, and we're going to go into a glute bridge. So again, from here, obviously working into the glutes, but we're really stretching out through those hip flexors, through those quads, and it helps us expand through the stomach wall as well. We've done quite a few contractions through the core, so we're just going to stretch it out while also working on our glutes, building up that core strength. We'll set ourselves, take the hands by the side, and all you have to do from here is just drive those hips straight up to the ceiling. Back down, drive it up. Take your time, there's no rush. If you feel any pain within your lower back, from here on to roll your hips forward, roll them back so your lower back's nice and flush on the ground, and then drive up from there. Do that on each repetition, reset, roll the hips forward, roll them back, drive up through those glutes, expanding through that stomach wall. Good, last repetition, and rest. Nice, take a moment, everyone. So from there, what we're going to go into some plank walkouts next. I'm going to take a little water on board. We've got 20 seconds. So what we'll do is we'll come back up into a standing position. Obviously from here, what you're going to do is you're going to bend down the torso. You're going to start to walk your hands out into that plank position, and then I just want you to walk them back in towards your feet. Walk it back out again. I'll keep it here as we're already there. Take it to that plank position and walk it back in again. Just find that range. You don't have to bring it all the way to your toes. That's not a problem. Just find that range that works for you. If you need to bring it halfway, drop those heels onto the floor and work it back out again. Yeah, nice. As you can see, I've kind of gone onto a closed fist. It just gives me more strength through my elbow joints. That's one. And rest. Nice, really strong work, everyone. A few more rounds to go. So, next one we're going to go into It's going to go into a nice lateral raise. So we're going to work into the shoulders. I want you to keep those fists nice and clenched, nice and controlled, really working through those outside delts and into those trapezius muscles. We've got just over 10 seconds, so no rush. Take a bit of water on board. And we'll set ourselves. Bring the fists in front of us. And we're just going to squeeze it out nice and controlled. Nice and steady, just bringing those arms up to a lateral height with those shoulders. So we're keeping everything under tension. And just working away. Feel free to have a nice soft elbow so your arms aren't locked out. Just a slight bend in that elbow. Soft to feel that tension through those shoulders. Working into those muscles. One more repetition. And rest. Strong work, everyone. A few more rounds to go. Round 2. We'll be done. So, we'll take a pause, take a moment. So the next move we're going to move into is we're just going to go back into some standing squats this time. So we'll take a stance just outside shoulder width apart. I like to bring my hands in front of me, as you all aware are now. And from there, all we're going to do is come down and just drive it back up. Take your time. We'll set ourselves. And in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. So we're taking it down and back up of the core that we've done. Good, strong work. So we just take those elbows down to those knees, drive it back up, trying to keep that back nice and straight, and driving those hips through at that end point. So we're really getting into those glutes. One more repetition, and squeeze. Nice, good work, everyone. One more round, one more exercise. So the next one we're going to go into, again, we're going to break it up. We're going to mobilize the shoulders this time. So what we're going to do is we're going to swing it up and back down. We're going to come up and back down, nice and loose, nice and free through those shoulders. Again, just open up through those shoulder socket joints, extending through those elbow joints. Again, just to release any tension through those shoulders and in those arms. Good, let's keep that there. Try and keep that neck nice and relaxed. Everything's relaxed. We're just allowing the arms to swing down and up. Try not to stop them from swinging. Just allow it to find that natural movement through those shoulders. Good. Strong work, everyone. Let's keep that there. Again, you'll start to feel that burn within those shoulders now. One more repetition. And rest. Good. Nice. Round 2. Complete. We'll take a minute or so just before we move back into that next round. We've still got just over 15 minutes to utilize. So again, we'll probably get through one more round and we will be done with another Wednesday Westside Wellbeing circuit session with myself, Jamie from Coaches for Change. And take a moment. Take a bit of water on board. Feel free to move around as I am, just to keep that blood movement, just so nothing gets too stiff. And again, Ted, especially if you've been sat at a desk all morning or sat at a desk all day, if you're joining us later on, it's just good to get that little bit of natural movement through the body. I'm going to take a bit of water on board. So, we're going to set ourselves to move into the next round. And what we're going to start with, some leg circles. So really good for hip mobility, really good for working the base of the core as well. I'm going to pull my mat out just a touch. So ultimately what I want you to do is I'm probably going to have to lie this way to start with. Ultimately what you'll do is you'll lie on your side, you'll bring your legs up to 90, you'll take them out round to the side and circle back round. See if I've got enough room here. I tell you what, if I spin this way, I'll definitely have enough room. So let's set ourselves. We're going to jump back in. We've got 15 minutes to go. Strong work, everyone. Let's keep it there. Last few movements. We'll lie down 5 seconds, hands by the side. We come bring the legs up to 90. We take them out, round, down, and back up. Just moving my water bottle out of the way. Come up to 90, circle it round. And back up. Good. Trying to keep that tension through the base of that core. Really trying to open up through those hips. Good, strong work. Make those circles as big or as small as you like. If you want to intensify this, lift the chin into the chest. You really feel it through that core. And rest. Good work, everyone. Strong. So, the next one we're going to go into, we're going to come onto our knees, onto our tiptoes. And from here, we're just going to come up and back down. Come up and back down. I know, nice and simple, right? So keep it there again. So we're just mobilizing through the hips, mobilizing through the ankles, putting some movement through the knee joint. And as you come up, what I want to do is push your hips forward so you're engaging those glutes. Again, I'm going to take my hands in front of me, trying to keep our toes bent, driving up through the knees, using those hips to drive that core forward. And again, if it starts to hurt the toes, feel free to release them, but you might find it a little trickier just to get low and drive it back up. So take a moment, bring the toes back up and back down again. Last few movements. 3, 2, and 1. Good. And rest, everyone. Nice. Take a moment. So while we're down here, next one we're going to go into, all I'm going to just do is keep the feet together, open up through the knees are flared out, and we're just going to walk our hands up. I don't want you to come flat, I want you to keep them nice straight back, and you'll just slowly walk it back in again. Again, not a lot of movement, but really good for the hips, opening everything up, still putting some pressure through that upper body as we're still walking through the hands, so we're using those arm muscles. Again, keeping those shoulders nice and contracted, and just work your way through. As you start to find it, you might be able to find that you can take it that little bit further, and then roll it back in. Again, just take your time, there's no rush. There's a few things that we're doing today that might feel slightly unusual. But good work, everyone. Nice, let's keep that there. One more repetition. We're going to walk it out, and we're going to come back in. Lovely stuff. So from there, we're going to move back into the upper body again. We're going to go into some push-ups. We're going to go into some narrow grip push-ups this time. So what you'll do is we're going to take the hands shoulder width apart, nice and close. From there, you're going to allow the elbows to tuck into the side of the torso and squeeze back through. By all means, what we're going to do, we can take it to the knees. That's not a problem at all. I'll take it to the knees with you. If anyone wants to go for the full plank press up, be my guest. But hands shoulder width apart, move those knees back so everything's nice and long. And we're just going to squeeze it down and up, dropping those elbows or that torso in between those elbows, squeezing through those triceps. Again, we're engaging through the chest muscles, but all the emphasis, or most of the emphasis, I should say, is through those triceps. Take your time. There's no rush. Take it rep by rep. Keep it there. A few more repetitions. Strong work. Last rep. And squeeze through. Nice. Strong work, everyone. Lovely stuff. Take a moment. And take a bit more water. So we're going to bring it back up onto our feet. Next one we're going to go into, we're going to start on the left leg. And what I want you to do is left leg, right arm out. I want you to hinge forward at the hips anytime, and then drive that right knee up. Take that leg back nice and straight, hinge forward at the hips, drive it straight up. I'm already here, so let's keep going. Nice, take your time, find a rhythm, find a tempo. Really working on that balance. There's no rush, keep that movement nice and steady. And by driving that knee through at the end, it will work on our balance, but also means that we're engaging through the base of the core, working into that hip flexor. And again, just helping everything realign through those hips. Your left leg might start to be burning. Stick with it. One more rep. And rest. Good, strong work, everyone. We'll take a moment and then we'll do the same on the other leg. So this time, right leg will be the standing leg. Left leg will be the leg that comes back behind you. Take that left arm, left leg out. Hinge forward at the hips. Trying to keep a bit of a soft knee, as you can see there for myself. Don't worry about trying to lock that leg out. We will take a moment, 10 seconds. We're going to set ourselves And in 3, 2, and 1. So nice soft knee through that right leg. We're going to hinge forward, touch the floor, drive that left knee through. Take the leg back, take the arm down, drive the knee through. Good. Try and keep that balance. Really work on it. You see I'm starting to shake a bit through my right leg because my balance is a lot better and stronger with my left. Again, here working individually through both sides allows us to test where we're at. Last repetition. And rest. Take a moment. Strong work, everyone. A few more rounds to go. Let's keep it going. So, what we're going to move into next, we're going to go into the core a little bit again. So we're going to bring it down to the ground. And we're going to go into some knee drives. So we'll come into that position where we've got our hands shoulder width apart. We come into the plank position and then we just drive one knee into that center line of that body at a time, nice and controlled, nice and steady. Let's go for it. So we come into that plank position and just start to drive those knees into that center line of the body. If this becomes a bit of a struggle, what you can do, you can bring it down to the knees. You can rock yourself back, and as you pull forward, just drive one knee in. Rock it back, use that momentum, pop up off the ground, and drive that knee into that center line of the body. Just so you're taking some of the pressure off the core and off the arms. Good. Nice. Take a moment. Strong work, everyone. And take some water on board. Getting quite warm myself here. Really strong work, everyone. A few more movements to go. A few more minutes. Really strong effort today. So the next one we are going to go into is we're just going to go into a nice stretch here. We've put a lot of movement through the hips. So what you want to do is you're going to come onto your right knee. Left leg's going to come out in front of you. And I just want you to take your fingertips to the floor. So you're really feeling that stretch through that hamstring, through that calf. And again, we're really pulling through that glute muscle and that hip, keeping everything nice and strong. If this starts to come a bit too much, feel free to come up. Place your hands on your hips. The stretch won't be as intense, but you'll still be able to feel it. And we're just going to hold that there. A few more seconds. Nice long stretch for 3, 2, and 1. Lovely stuff. We're going to bring that back in. And we'll take it to the other side, but we're just going to allow the body to rest for a moment. So feel free to sit back on the hips, sit down on your glutes, have a little lie down. It's entirely up to you. We've got over 20 seconds, so no rush. But again, what we'll do this time, so our right knee will come to the ground, left leg will go out in front of us, and you just take those fingertips towards the floor. Again, feel free to come up onto the hips if that feels a bit too intense for you. But in 3, 2, and 1, we'll take it here. Again, no need to go any further than the fingertips. As you can see, I really start to round my back. So it's slightly rounded from here, but we're just trying to keep everything as straight as possible. Again, because the shoulders are falling forward, there'll be a slight round in the back, and just holding there, really stretching out through that hamstring, through that calf muscle. But again, if that feels too much, bring it up into there. But as you can see, we'll start to test your balance at the same time. And rest. Nice. Good work, everyone. So we're going to come up onto the ground. And what we're going to do is the next one we're going to go into, we're going to hit the core. We're going to utilize the legs and the upper body a touch. So we'll take the fingertips behind the head, and you're just going to bring the opposing elbow into the opposing knee. So a little bit like a cycle crunch, but we're going to do it standing up. And again, it just helps put some pressure, mobilize through the knee joint, through the ankle, through the hip, because we are going to use the ground, and then drive it back up. Again, we're getting into that core, into the abdominal muscles, and into those obliques by crossing that elbow over to the opposing knee. Again, just find a rhythm, find a tempo. There's no rush. Strong work, everyone. Let's keep that there. Good. You've probably got close to 5 more repetitions on each side, so probably 10 repetitions. Good. Nice and controlled. A few more reps on each side. And we go for 3, 2, and 1. And rest. Nice. We're going to take a moment We've still got 5 minutes to play with, but I just want you to catch your breath, take a moment, probably take a minute, and then we're just going to go through a few more exercises just to finish off today's session. So, like me, and you're thirsty, a bit warm, heart rate's increased. Take a bit of water on board, take a moment before we move into the last final few movements. But really strong work today, everyone. Let's keep it there. A few more minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the timer. We're going to go back in. We're going to go through a few more moves. And I'm going to set the timer, 5 seconds. I want to take a nice wide stance. And all you do is just going to drop one knee to the side and come back to the side. Again, so we're really working through those hips again, stretching out through those adductor muscles that tend to sit quite dormant in a lot of people. Really help connect the hamstring to the quads. A lot of people will feel like they've pulled a hamstring or got a hamstring muscle, but it's actually the adductor that's come under too much strain. Just keep it there. Strong work. Nice. Few more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. And rest. Lovely stuff, everyone. So the next one we're going to go into a straight leg deadlift ultimately. So we're going to keep the legs nice and straight. You're going to hinge through the hips. So all you need to do is just think about taking your hips straight back. We're going to clench the fists and you're just going to hinge forward, keep that back nice and straight and come back up. As soon as you start to feel the back round, I want you to stop. Again, keeping the back nice and straight, keeping all the emphasis through those hamstrings. We'll set ourselves, feet, nice natural position. 3, 2, and 1. We're just going to hinge and squeeze. Again, really working through those hamstrings, really stretching them out. Also strengthening them at the same time. Nice, good work. One, let's keep that there. Nice, a few more repetitions. Nice. And we're going to go for 3, 2, and 1. Nice, take a moment. We've got 30 seconds. From there, we're going to move into another full body exercise. So we're going to go into a cat crawl this time. So we did the bear crawl earlier on in the session. This time we're going to go into the cat crawl. So take a moment, there's no rush. But all I need you to do from here is you're going to come down onto your tiptoes. Flare your knees out to the side. And very similar to the bear crawl, all I want you to do is start to walk it out on the hands. Get a press if we can. And walk it back in, nice and controlled, nice and steady, trying to stay on those tiptoes at all time. Flare those knees out to the side. Good, let's keep it there. A few more repetitions. You're going to feel this one today. Good, let's keep it there. Nice, just find the rhythm, find the tempo. A few more movements to go through. Rest. Last repetition for 3, 2, and 1. And rest. Nice work, everyone. Good. So we're going to go for a few more movements. Then we can all go off, have our lunch, take a moment. So next one we're going to go into some squat around the world. So we're going to take it shoulder width apart. I want you to point your feet out kind of 45-degree angles. You're going to take the arms above your head. You're going to squat down, touch those arms around the back. Just make sure they come behind the knees and come back up. Try not to hit your arms into your legs too much. Again, so you want to keep those knees nice and stable, those hips nice and stable. That's why we take a nice, I say wide stance just outside shoulder width apart, and we point those toes out. So it just means that ergonomically everything can move in the direction it needs to, while being nice and controlled and increasing that heart rate. Let's keep it there. A few more seconds. And in 3, 2, and 1. And rest, everyone. Nice. Really good work. We're going to go for one more movement, one more exercise. Almost there. Last one we're going to go into. We're just going to go into some high knees. So we can get a little running in just on the spot. Nice and controlled. 30 seconds. Leave your heart rate nice and high, feeling nice and stress-free, relaxed, and ready to take on the rest of the day. So we'll keep it there. 5 seconds. And in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Switch. A little jog on the spot. Running, don't worry about trying to bring those knees too high. Again, we want to keep the impact quite low, but if we can just stay on our tiptoes, taking those arms backwards and forwards. Almost there, working towards 15 seconds. If you guys want to increase the speed a bit, feel free to increase the speed of it with myself. Last push, almost there. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And rest. Woo! That one got me. Right, good work, everyone. Excellent effort this morning. Well, I should say this afternoon. I do apologise, but great work. And again, if you join us later on in the day, have a fantastic workout. Really strong effort, everyone. We look forward to seeing you again next week as we move round into another session. Have a fantastic day. See you later, everyone.